where did your parents come from?
Both my parents immigrated from Iran to study. My dad came to California, and my mom went to New York. What about you, Chloe?
My dad went to school in France, and my mom went to school in California from Guam. You're listening to the Daily Brew from the Stanford Daily. This is Chloe Barreau
and Leily Rezvani. In this episode, we discuss the unique perspectives international students bring to campus culture and the hardships they may face during their time here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Francisco, where the current local time is.
Attention please, this is the final call for...
Turn left on Palm Drive. In 500 feet, turn right on Campus Drive and you will reach Bechtel International Center.
And I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
The beautiful country by the side of Nile, also known as Egypt.
I'm from Germany.
Kumasi, Ghana.
Although I was born in India, I'm from Ghana.
From Vancouver.
I don't know where I'm from. I lived in New Jersey for 10 years, and then for the past 8 years, I've been in Shanghai.
I'm from Recife, Brazil.
2.5 hours by plane.
It's probably about 18 to 19 hours.
13 hours from Accra to New York, and then like 5 hours from New York to SF. Every single time I go through airport security, I'm always picked for a random check, pat down. So like that, those are things which I've just gotten used to.
24 hours total.
Probably around 15 to 16 hours.
19 hours, and that's the fastest.
If I go for the cheapest option late, it takes me about 37 hours.
I was excited, scared, wondering. Yeah, it was surreal.
Nostalgia to an extent.
It's very rare that I'm homesick.
Sometimes I'm just like kind of confused because I'm like, what sequence of events like led me here? Sometimes I get into like really rambling like trains of thought where I'm like, oh, you know, like what am I even doing at Stanford? Like, am I making the most of my time here? Like, oh, like am I doing the things that I should be or whatever?
This is my reality now. It's almost as if I'm commuting back and forth between home and school.
The definition of home itself has been like split now even between like university, which is like where I live most of the time, but it's like not necessarily really home, and like back home, which is like my parents are there, but then all the friends are gone, so it's like not, like it just doesn't feel right either.
But like, getting to spring quarter, yeah, like I just want to go home. I just want to go home. Yeah, but like now I think it's fine, but I will get homesick soon.
For international students, arriving at Stanford marks the end of a long journey, but it also signifies the beginning of a new culturally immersive experience.
Whether it be differences in which side of the road people drive on or how people greet each other, international students across campus experience Stanford through a unique lens.
I don't know, it's hard to even define an American culture.
This is Sohit, and he is a freshman
from Singapore.
But when asked about where he considers home, he says,
well, I mean, home's also hard to define for me. I was born in the UK, my parents are Indian, but then I lived in Singapore. So then coming here, at least the UK and Singapore are somewhat similar, but coming here, everything's different, you know.
What does he mean by everything is different?
You know, you start with the plugs and the water's different, and the water's harder here.
He also compares Singapore to sunny California.
Honestly, the weirdest thing has been the weather. It's just cold, you know.
Wait, the weather is cold? When I think of California, the description cold usually doesn't come to mind. But when I check my weather app, I realize Sohit is right. Right now, it is
90 degrees Fahrenheit
in Singapore, 32 degrees Celsius for my fellow internationals. And the weather right now in Palo Alto? It's
70 degrees Fahrenheit
or 21 degrees Celsius. I could see how Sohit could feel a bit chilly.
I've never been in cold weather for the last 10 years. Go out without a sweater 3 hours later and then it's freezing.
Another experience faced by international students are differences in drinking cultures. With stricter drinking laws than many other nations, drinking culture can appear
more intense here. Because in Singapore, alcohol wasn't a taboo, you just drink. Yeah, we wouldn't see people getting transported or anything.
But differences in social culture extend beyond drinking. It can even be seen in everyday conversations.
People are much more verbal here. They speak their opinion much louder than in like Asian countries. We speak to each other, but like people weren't as direct. People were much more, polite's not the word, but polite's also the word. It was just like a very respectful. Even within the storm, like everyone's American, but it was like people are so different. It's not like in Singapore, you'd have a Singaporean and they were very similar to each other. So even the smallest things was really weird. So it's just like everything's different.
This is your mom. Call me back at your convenience. Love you. Bye.
I don't have the luxury of going back home and, relaxing for 3 months and applying, from there for jobs. I can't. I need to stay in the US and I need to figure all of that while writing my thesis here, while doing my course load here, while trying to take advantage of all the things that I haven't done so far. I still haven't been to a game.
Senior year comes around and suddenly everybody is in a rush to get resumes written, research done, major requirements met, and to live the Stanford life to its fullest. One such senior takes an hour of her Sunday morning out to share with us what being an international student means.
My name is Nasreen Barak.
Nasreen is a senior from
Tunisia, more specifically from Gafsa, which is a city 6 hours away from the capital, Tunis.
And she's studying
history, studying the Middle East and North Africa, and I like to add North Africa, even though it doesn't exist in the major.
Nasreen is really passionate about what she does. She was planning to do a fellowship after graduation and then wait a few years before her PhD.
Then I discovered while doing this research that I'm not eligible for, about 80% of the things that I was looking for because of my status as an international student. Because they're only open for US citizens.
That's bad enough as it is.
And then I also discovered all of the visa restrictions. I only have 12 months here.
Without the 2-year extension that comes with a STEM major, the F1 visa just allows students to legally stay in the country for 12 months after graduation. Being able to stay is contingent on finding either work or funding for research. This makes many internationals feel like they've got a time bomb strapped to their back.
It's understandable in the sense that, Americans have they have the priority for the jobs, and there aren't those many jobs in the humanities, so it makes sense on a logical level, but then it also just makes you feel, no one really understands. There's the atmosphere that everything is going to be fine. You're a Stanford graduate. Don't worry as much. Chill, which is a word I hate. I don't chill. I am a worrier. I worry about things. Everyone at the beginning tells you, you have time to figure out your major. No, you don't. It's like, it's so, it's fine. You're going to find your way. It's, no, not really. Yes, I'm going to find my way. But if I don't play my cards right from the beginning, then I'm going to get screwed and I'm not going to be able to achieve my dreams, basically. Sounds cheesy, but it's true. It is hard to adapt. It is very much hard to adapt. But we're doing it.
We spoke with Axel, the president of the International Undergraduate Community, also known as the IUC, and Emily, the business manager of the IUC.
IUC aims to foster a community for international students and their American friends that celebrates international culture. And we do this through food-related events and other types of events.
And then we also like to help sort of internationals navigate their sort of academic life in the US. So we've done a couple of speaker series with international students who've graduated and gone on to study in the US.
When speaking about fostering culture for international students and American friends, I can't help but wonder what these differences are.
Finding community sometimes can be difficult. So I think one issue in general is connecting with other international students. Question we get a lot, especially when we're tabling to represent our organization, is, have you met anyone from this country?
I think one thing that can definitely make people feel a lot more comfortable being in a foreign country is having that at least one other person who's from the same area of the world as them. Maybe they have like a national holiday or something that they can like meet up and celebrate together. Because it is different, like living for 9 months of the year in a different country. So to kind of have that almost home comfort in the form of another person can be really, really nice.
There's a spectrum of how international you can be. Like the overall defining factor is more like shared experiences of being in a foreign country or like being in a place that's foreign to you. But ultimately, we're not here to define it.
I think it's more about how international a person feels, and if they feel like they have a link to a specific country or a culture. In IUC, at least, we're very open to how that is interpreted.
It's different for everybody. It's different for the guy down the hall and different for the grad student that graded your midterm. Behind every different, there's a perspective for you to discover. So maybe knock on someone's door today. Find a friend, ask a question, share your story.
This episode was produced by Chloe Barreau, Leily Rezvani, Wangi Jung, and Bruce Bantung.
With help from Sminty Mittal, Ashley Fortoy, and Anastasia Malenko. To hear from other Stanford Daily podcasts, go to stanforddaily.com/podcasts. Signing us off is the student band Passed by Catastrophe with their new song, Pretty Lady.
Sidelines, but I'm getting by. Communication in this age of paranoia won't survive as we're drowning inside. Call me up when you're drunk, I'll just call you when I'm high. Looking to bridge the divide. Were we ever so perfect together, me and you, I can fight before this whole line slide. So pretty lady, give me the chance to make things just alright. And maybe one day you'll be the one to save me, and it's sure getting by just fine. Can't live with you, so I tried. Try to get by myself, although it's hard, I'm finding out. Were we ever so perfect together, me and you, somehow? Before this whole wash out, so pretty lady, give me the chance to make things just alright. And maybe one day you'll be the one to save me, and it's sure getting by. So you're lonely, ever think of being with a lonely guy like me? We can build this house of loneliness on sin and misery. I'll transpose off with your clothes, step inside the unknown. What it takes or where it goes, no one knows, oh no one knows. Drag me round, piss me off, just alright. And maybe one day you'll be the one to save me, and it's sure we're getting by. So pretty little